Okay, so we now have 15 days until the Kickstarter project is basically over. And if we do not raise the $1,000 goal, we don't get any money. I'm not sure if I mentioned that or not. That's how Kickstarter works. If you don't reach funding goal, you don't get the money. And the reason that is because if you don't get the money, then you can't really do with the project that you said you were going to do anyway. And I don't want people to think that I'm trying to raise just all the money for making the pilot episode just through Kickstarter. That's not the case. I'm only trying to get the money for the costumes and the set design and 3D models. For perspective, the camera I'm shooting on right now, the Sony NXVG10, that's a camera that I purchased with credit through Bill Me Later. This is, I think it's a $1,800 camera. I just ordered a digital audio recorder, which is $600 for the external, so that we can now record decent audio with that external field recorder. That's about $600. Also getting a light kit. The one that I've had to reluctantly order is not very good. It's about $200 something, and of course the spare bulb is about $250 something. It's really not what I needed. It has a softbox, but with lights, how it works is that craftsmanship is really what it comes down to. Craftsmanship. The cheaper your lights, the crappier the lights are, like physically, what they're made out of. The light kit that I purchased, in reviews, people have said that the light bulbs will burn out pretty fast, and that's relatively common with cheap light kits. It doesn't have a carrying case, which means I have to find something to put them in so that they don't break. Light switches, of course, are not well made, and I guess apparently break really easily. So it's not a light kit that's going to last, is basically what it is. But I believe that we should be able to shoot at least some of the scenes before anything goes wrong, bearing that the light kit isn't like a dud, and the light bulbs all work. That's not really the topic of this particular video here. For this video, I wanted to talk about the story of GKaiser. The story is, I have our protagonist, Howard. Howard is someone from our world who gets summoned to Manga-Land, which is a world where comics and manga and anime and all that stuff is real. So there's lots of references to those types of shows without being direct. Actually having them in. There's just references to them. There's characters that are parodies of them. How is Howard different than a lot of other protagonists in children's superhero shows, like Kamen Rider and so forth? This character is a loser. And when I say loser, I mean he's not someone who's terribly incompetent. He's someone who has no faith in himself at all. That's why he loses. Because he gets close to the finishing line, and then an obstacle comes up in his path, and he stops, and he gives up. And that's what makes him a loser. As GKaiser, his powers are only truly effective when he's courageous, when he has the heart of a hero, when he's brave, when he's kind. And, as someone who has a sort of a pessimistic outlook on life, he doesn't really fit the description for being that hero. He wasn't supposed to be the person bestowed with the powers. It was the hero summoning spell done by the wizard actually summoned a Zero. And so a lot of his character development actually involves him learning to really be a hero, not by, like Luke Skywalker, who has all the qualities you would traditionally find in a hero. This is a character who is pessimistic, very pessimistic, and he gives up very easily. And he really has to grow throughout the story into becoming someone to really take on the mantle of a hero. The story, as I've also said in the blog, which you can find the link for right here, where I've talked a lot more about the story structure, really following something used in Japanese animation. It's a narrative model used by Gainax in things like Neon Genesis Evangelion, and Gurren Lagann. And it starts with, there's the prologue art, then there is the action arc, and then there is the descent, where things start to really go wrong, and then there's the bittersweet ending. Bittersweet ending doesn't mean that everybody dies. It just means that victory comes at a cost, is what a bittersweet ending actually means. So, and I think that's really how life is. It's, at least in my experience, you don't get to the finishing line on really important things without having to put yourself out there. I mean, look at this film that I'm making. I've maxed my credit to the limit just to get this far. I'm not exactly living in luxury here, spending all my time going to school and spending a lot of my personal time studying and honing my film skills. Sorry, I've got a bit of a cold today. So the story that I'm trying to tell is really a story that I really believe in. It's a story that I think is realistic. Not in the sense that superheroes and stuff exist, but in the way that things actually go when you're trying to do a monumental task that you may not be the best fitted to do. But still, you have to do it, because if you don't do it, nobody else is going to do it. And that's really a story I believe needs to be told, especially for children. So I hope that you will help us make it a reality, help us make the show something that is really, I don't want to say like the best web series ever made, but something that at least reaches the level of quality I want the show to have. And I believe that it needs to have in order to be successful. I don't want to just go out there and make a video as test, like I did before, which the costumes aren't finished and cinematography isn't the greatest because we don't have anybody for that. We don't have great acting because we couldn't promise deferred payment for actors. And we don't have the right equipment. We don't have the 3D models that I really believe in order to bring the show to the next level, not just have like a lens flare. Like, yeah, there are some Japanese superhero shows where they use 3D art in the henshins, but ultimately the character transforms with a lens flare, and that is not what I want. I want something awesome. I want something that people would say are maybe one of the best henshin sequences they have ever seen in their entire life. That's what I want GKaiser to have. And I believe that it really needs that in order to succeed, because this is a very visual type of show. It's a special, tokusatsu means special effects. If you can't have good special effects, there's really no point in doing it, because that's a lot of what the show visual style is. Very colorful, very fast, lots of things happening, and just blowing your mind. And that's really what I want GKaiser to do when people watch it. I want them to say, this looks like it was done professionally. I want them to think that there was a lot more money put into it than what actually was. So that they can say, yeah, I would definitely pledge money to produce the second episode, because I'm only trying to get the first pilot made. I haven't even begun considering fundraising for the later episodes. There's going to be 7 episodes total for the first season. It's already all figured out. I know how much needs to be made for each episode, but I'm going to be raising it in increments, and once people see the pilot episode, I firmly believe that they will say, yeah, I definitely want to do this. I would definitely want to support this. And it will be so much more easier to raise money for Kickstarter and allow us to raise more money even, so we can purchase a better light kit, maybe better audio equipment, more lenses for the cameras, more props, more costumes, and things like that. So please, if you're able to, you can spare $5. $5, you get a credit in every episode thanking you for making it a reality. I believe that is fair for $5. For $25, you get more. You get a special T-shirt that we're going to be creating. It says, I support GKaiser. And that T-shirt will never be printed ever again. So people will know that if you own that shirt, you're one of the few people who donated to make the show a reality. So if you have spare money, please help us out. Help us make this a reality. Because if we don't get the costume budget, how are we going to make it, I can get the equipment. I can get the bare minimum equipment that we need. I can get the locations. I can get the actors. I can feed the actors. But I don't have any more money to give for anything else. So, thank you for giving me your time, and please consider donating to the Kickstarter project for GKaiser. Thank you.